The air at the starting line was thick with anticipation. Ryan the rabbit stood poised, his powerful leg muscles coiled tight like high-tension springs, ready to explode. Beside him, Toby the turtle was a statue of calm. He remained perfectly still, his ancient eyes fixed solely on the distant shimmering hill. The forest fell silent as the old owl raised his wing. Ready, set, go! The owl signaled. In a heartbeat, Ryan vanished, becoming nothing more than a blur of fur and incredible speed. He cleared the first bend in mere seconds. His breath pulsed, pure joy in his stride. The race was on, the gap immense. Ryan glanced back over his shoulder, seeing only the empty, dusty path behind him. He chuckled to himself. The sound lost in the wind. The meadow ahead was bathed in a glorious, golden sunlight that seemed to invite a pause. Why rush when victory was so certain? Ryan slowed his frantic pace to a light trot, then finally flopped down under the cool, inviting shade of a massive, ancient oak tree. He closed his eyes, leaning his head against the rough bark. His chest rose and fell in deep, steady breaths as he drifted into a smug slumber. Time slipped by unnoticed as the shadows began to stretch their long fingers across the grass, marking the passing hours. Toby, meanwhile, moved with a singular, unbreakable focus. His heavy claws gripped the dry dirt, dragging his massive shell forward one painful, deliberate inch at a time. He did not look at the shade or the flowers. He climbed over tangled, stubborn roots and waded through patches of thick, emerald clover that threatened to tangle his legs. Every fiber of his small body ached with the effort, but he kept his gaze locked firmly on the horizon. When he finally passed the great oak tree, he saw Ryan snoring loudly. A tiny dandelion seed caught in the rabbit's twitching ear. Toby did not pause to gloat or rest. He pushed past the meadow, his pace grueling and slow, but entirely unbroken. As the afternoon faded into twilight, the forest grew eerily quiet. Suddenly, Ryan jolted awake, his eyes snapping open in terror. The sun was dipping low, casting long dark fingers of shadow across the trail. He scrambled up, his heart hammering violently against his ribs like a trapped bird. He scanned the path ahead, and his ears flattened in absolute shock. A dark, steady shape was nearing the finish line on the crest of the hill. Ryan sprinted, his paws tore at the earth, kicking up clouds of dust. His lungs burned with every desperate, ragged gulp of air. He pushed his legs until they trembled and burned, closing the distance with every leap, but the gap was too wide, and the time was too short. A roar of cheers erupted from the animals as Toby took one final, slow step across the line. Ryan skidded to a halt, gasping for air, his legs shaking. "I was faster," he panted, wiping sweat from his brow. But I never stopped. Ryan looked back at the long, winding path, his head sinking low in realization. He walked to the center of the crowd and stood beside his friend, nodding in respect. From that day on, forest friends, slow stride, persistent journey.